Observation of Gene Mills, one of the world's most outstanding wrestlers. Gene is known as a trailblazing, innovative athlete who has earned national and international recognition. He's a two-time NCAA champion, two-time national AAU champion, champion of the World Cup Games, the Pan American Games, and the Great Plains. Gene Mills has won championships in the Soviet Union, Cuba, Europe, and the Far East. A member of the 1980 U.S. Olympic team. In winning the 1980 World Super Championship, he was voted as the most outstanding wrestler. The intensity of his physical training is shown here as he works on his bodybuilding exercises. He takes himself to the limit in everything he does. Those who know Gene Mills describe him as a free spirit, a genius in the sport, one who displays a playful arrogance while maintaining a total commitment to excellence. Gene coaches at Syracuse University, and here he runs the upper level of the Carrier Dome Stadium. The solitude of his training points out the individuality of the sport. Wrestling is a combative sport of individuals. In competition, victory depends on you, and you alone. Your talent, your knowledge, your strength, and your drive to win. Off the mat, Gene is an affable person, a dynamic personality with a genuine interest in others. On the mat, he's ruthless in his quest for victory. These traits have made him a champion and an outstanding coach. Gene often does his road work in a cemetery which is located near the Syracuse University campus. This environment allows Gene the solitude he wants. While he conditions his body, he concentrates on his attitude, the winning attitude that separates the good athlete from the great athlete, the attitude of a true champion. His mind races from one wrestling move to another, always seeking to improve himself as one of the sport's finest technicians. In this video program, Gene shares his experience and knowledge as he demonstrates this series.
All right, today we're going to go over defensive counter wrestling. Now, if the man goes for a single leg and he gets a hold of my leg right here, there's a lot of things I could do. First thing we're going to do is drop our level so our shoulder is underneath his head. And we're going to drop down here, we're going to pull both his elbows towards us, we're going to take our left foot back and kick back here. So we're just going to stop it. That's the first thing we can do. Dropping our level, pulling elbows, and coming out. Now, once we grab this guy and pull his elbows into us, we have a lot of options. We can drop down to a double leg. We can go straight into a throw right here where we're going to kick our left heel towards the ceiling and back right here. Drop my level, pull the elbows, pull this here. My right leg is bent, and that's where I'm going to get my power. And I'm going to kick my left leg high. As I kick my leg high, he's going to rotate over my head. Right through a headlock. Drop low. I can step right past him with my left heel. Jump past him. My heel comes from in the middle to the outside, and I try and hop past him. Another option we can do anytime a guy grabs our leg is we can push the man away from us and try and put our foot right in the center of his chest. Then grab both his wrists. If he tries to take me down from here, anywhere he goes to move, I can move with him. Right here. Now, when I want to shoot, all I do is I pull my arms towards me and I kick him in the chest. So here, I push him away and grab his wrist. And when I want to drop for a single, all I do is I'm pushing my leg away. I'm pushing my leg into him, pulling the arms, and when I want to go shoot, I just drop my level. All his weight is leaning forward. So anytime a guy's got your leg up and he's holding it high in the air, got it out here, what we want to do, if my foot's on his left side, I push his right side away. I push his right side away, will square him up with me, and I can grab his wrist. Push into him. There's nothing he can do to me now. And by me pushing into him, his reaction is going to be to push back. As he's driving back, I can drop right underneath. He's going for a take. One of the first things you really want to do when a guy hits a single leg on you is control his head. If his head's right here, he's in good position. So what I want to do is take him out of position, put weight on his shoulder and on his head. I push his head down, I get a whizzer right here with my left arm, and I'm pushing the weight down. Now, his natural reaction is going to be to come up. As he comes up, I step past him. Pull it over. Push the head to the middle. I've got a whizzer right here. I straighten my left arm to put the weight on it. Grab my own thigh here just to put weight on it. Now, as he goes to pull himself back up, I'm going to step past him. And I'm going to fall at an angle. Grab that leg, I push the head to the inside, this is the whizzer. Put weight on it. As he goes to come back up, my right arm is going to come inside, and that might coming right up, arching in. By lifting your hips up off the ground, I can put a lot of weight on him right here, and a lot of torque on the shoulder. By sitting on my hips, there's no weight on this man, the weight is on my own. So I want to make sure all the weight is on the man. My opponent. Next thing I do, if a guy goes to grab my leg, once he's got it in midair, I like to push his head away and get a whizzer and then grab a wrist. And what I want to do with the wrist is get the one that is around my leg. If I grab this wrist, it does me no good. So I would like to grab the one that is holding up my leg. I grab it palm up, like I'm hitchhiking. I've got the whizzer, and I want to do is set my right foot in between, sit on my right hip, throw him over my left shoulder. The tighter he pulls his leg into his crotch, the farther he's going to go when I go to launch him. And I come up. As I come up, I let go of this, I sit on his wrist. I'm cutting off the circulation to his hand. But all my weight is on him. If he goes to turn into me, I'm right here to catch him. If he goes to turn away, I've still got his arm. So I am in control. Got my leg, I've got a wrist and a whizzer. I'm going to hop in between his legs, sit on my left hip, and throw him over my right shoulder. And I come up. Sometimes I like to jam this. Other times I just sit up on there. But I am in control. He cannot turn away from me because all the weight is on in between my legs. And he can't turn either way, really. Now, when he grabs the leg, I want to make sure that I pop him to the side here. So I can grab that wrist. Now I sit. Oh, come on. Come up. Got the leg. Another thing I'd like to do is a cutback. And what I want to do is set up the feet in a straight line. 1, 2, 3, 4. Very close. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to take my knee, the top part of my knee, and catch him behind his knee. By doing this, I'm going to make it pretty tight in order to grab a semi-cradle. If I come in here with my foot and I knock him down, I cannot get a cradle because I am not close enough. If I come here, knock him down, I'm going to cradle underneath the knee and keep the wizard. And I'm not going for a regular cradle, but I'm cradling his leg and his arm. In order to bring him, I just straighten my left leg up and grab up this foot. Straighten, no. Here, a wizard push the head away. By pushing the head away, I turn his body. Straighten his left arm out, put weight on there. 1, 2, 3, 4. The next thing I do is cut behind his knee, cradle, and finish. There's nowhere we can go from there. I push his head away. I'm going to line up the feet. Sometimes I can do it by straightening this left arm. 1, 2, 3, 4. Right away. Bang. Right there. Can't turn. Another thing I like to do if a guy grabs a single leg on me is drop down, or push his head down with my right heel. I'm going to catch behind his left leg. His left hand is going to reach over and catch right behind his knee. I'm going to pop my hips in. Got it? Push it down. I'm catching, my left hand is catching right behind his knee. My right heel is catching behind his left knee, and I'm popping my hips into him. Just popping them down. Push the head down. I want to come over him. As I come over him, the left heel comes behind the one knee. And see these tendons right there? I want to catch those tendons with my hand and pop. As I pop, he falls back and follow through as a takedown. Off the same position. If I go to push his head down and he's persistent to pick it up, if he picks it up, I can come low and hit the same thing. Yeah. I want to push it down so I can reach over. He gets it out. I drop lower than him. Same thing. If he pulls himself up, I also have an inside trip. On an inside trip, what I want to do is I want to pick this up and catch here. I'm going to catch his right leg with my left leg. I'm going to kick it back and up. As I kick it back and up, I'm going to drop my level and lead with my hips first. Right here. I want to get it here. He pops it up. Drag down. We also have that same technique if the guy tries to double underhook me and jack me up in midair. If he goes to jack me up here, all I do is drop my level, catch here, drag with my hips. Double unders me here, you drop it, and grab it. Double underhooks me. I drop, I pop with my hip, and I kick this left leg back. When a guy grabs my leg, I always want to control his head, put weight on a wizard. If I can get this leg out and to the side and push his head to the side, I'm going to be creating a space right in here. This space can be used very effectively for my head and hit what we call a fireman's carry. We push the head away, not down. Push it away. I grab the top of the shoulder and I'm going to step my right foot in between his. I'm going to drop my hips as I go to do this, all his weight is going to lean forward. When it leans forward, I pull and throw at the same time. So I'm here. All my weight is still on my toes and on the man. I do not come down to my hips. If I go on my hips, I take the weight off of this man. He can turn. I want to keep all my pressure on him. Push the head away, looks to the outside, I'm losing. I want to drop my level, step in between here. All his weight is leaning forward. I'm going to be pulling down, drawing up here. I put my head on his chest and bridge up, put all my weight on his chest. Now I turn. Make sure his hips to the outside, my foot to the outside. I'm going to step and drop. As I do, I want to throw him here, here. If you notice the finish, I've got him here as I step in and going to be popping my hips into him. As I pop my hips, I'm letting him throw over to get elevation. In freestyle, this will be a 4-point throw. As I drop, top of my hips, and come over. To the outside. As soon as I see that there's a space created, I want to drop. Stick my head up underneath that little crease right there. I don't care if he still has my leg. If he still has my left leg right there, all I do is I'm going to pop my hip. It will pop off. Sometimes when a guy grabs my leg in that same position, I push his head to the outside. He wants to fight to pull that head up. When he fights to pull that head up, sometimes I'll just drop my level. As I drop my level, I'm going to reach for this knee, and I'm going to be pulling on the shoulder. So together, yep, I want that fireman. I can't get it, so I'm going to drop to the other side. Keeping a whizzer is very important. That is where you're going to get your torque. Got a whizzer, you want to put his head in the middle. As he does, I'm going to step my right foot to the outside, take this right hook, my right hand, catch behind his left knee, and sit as close to the line as possible, and torque him over. I'm dropping my level. As I drop my level, step to the outside, keeping in a circular motion. When the guy gets my leg, by controlling the head, I have a lot of other options. If he's up on his feet, I push his head down, I catch with my foot, and I'm going to push him right over it, right here. I follow through by picking my foot up. And catch. Now I want to push him over. All the weight is down. Now I push it across. Finish it up by just lifting that foot until he falls. Push the head down. Sometimes I'll even grab his lap and push him over. The key to this move is to knock him off his base. Once we knock him off his base here, we can knock him over, because he has no balance. Sometimes the guy will shoot in on my leg a little low. So what I do is I push his head down, I want to catch his head underneath the back of my thigh. I get a tight waist here, drive with my right foot, and drive him straight over, kicking my right knee into his chest. For 2. He shoots in on my leg, I counter it, I push his head down, step over, all my weight is on his head. I pull him, I get tight weight with my left arm, I take my left foot and start driving off, and then I kick with my left knee, knock him over. Right here, I pull my left arm, my left leg back, put him right on his elbow. Pull him up with an underhook. Shoot him on my leg, and pop him down, step over, get him a tight waist, drive him off my left, or off my right foot, and I'm kicking him straight over his head. I pull him forward, kick with my right knee. Then as I pull my right knee back, see that pressure? When I pull my right knee back, I push it down. All the weight is on pressuring on the shoulders. So I get him to come up. Then I get my reverse out. I go for the pin. A lot of times the guy will be standing up when he does that. He'll grab my leg low, and I'll try and keep it up in the air. If he tries to hold it in the air right here, I drive the man forward. Now I'm putting my hips on him to make it a little heavier. Step over and go for a tight waist. Sometimes I can go straight into a leg cradle by pulling him, catching the cradle, and right over. I take the man's head, I push him down, put my weight on him, I step over. I step him over right here, I've got his head trapped. I want to drive him forward with my left leg, catch the back of his hamstring with my left hand. As I take him over, I'm going to catch his near leg with my leg. Cradle. As I drive him forward, step over the near leg, and I arch, settle down that pin. Come over, and screw it over his head and catch it. Right there, settle it down. One of the most common moves I do when a guy tries to shoot in on me is to put all my weight on him and jam into him, getting a tight waist. I step up with my right leg and I want to take him directly over his head, straight, not to the side. Most people try blocking to the side and this guy arches and comes over and ends up on top. So I don't like using that move. What I want to do is I want to jam him so all the weight is caught up on his toes right here. That way he cannot get out of the situation. I step over, I take him straight over, kick with my left leg. As I come back, his arm is caught in my leg. I bring it back again, reverse half. Shoots him on my leg, push his head down, I jam into him, I step over. As I go to take him over, I kick my left hand to his chest, bring it back so I have his arm. Reverse that, reverse that. When I get in this situation, I can trap a man there. When I trap him, I can take him for 2, 2, 2, 2. I get him here, I jam, I take him over for 2. He's not reacting to get back to his base, I jam. Step, kick him over for 2. Comes back to his base, jam, step over, kick him in the chest. And it's a continuous process. You can 12-point a guy in freestyle, and that will end the match by hitting 6 of these right in a row. I can also hit that exact move from the feet. He grabs my leg, what I do is push his head down, step over it, kick. Now I'm right back on the mat. His natural reaction is going to be to get back to his base. I jam him. if I do not jam him, chances are I could either get lifted, or if I don't jam him and I step over it, and I try to pull him on me, it's not going to be tight, and he'll be able to take over. So I must make sure that when I'm in this position, I jam him. By jamming him and jamming his head down here, he cannot lift me. He can't lift. Now when I go to step over, okay, very important, lifting on the pin. Reverse that. A lot of times I sucker this man. He wants to shoot in, I know he wants to shoot head down. I drive into him. With the step and kick. Right here. I'm posting on my right hand so I can come underneath with this reverse half. No scissors. A lot of times, Dad will grab my leg, and all I want to do is drop my level and switch to some kind of a single. He's got my leg. I want to drop my level and drive into him. I end up with a single. Yeah? I just want to drop my level, get a single, drive him. Now he's dead. But on the other hand, he's got one of the moves I used on him. The guy grabs the leg. A lot of times I'll pick up and lace. Right here. By lacing inside his leg, the best thing for me to do is to get pressure into me by pushing into him. When he pushes back, I step my right leg out to the side. This comes with an underhook and overhook with my left arm. Good pin. You come underneath. Try and jack it up. Get him to drive into me. Good for a pin. Lace, and he gets low. If this man gets low, it's kind of hard to lace and throw. So what I want to do is catch this elbow, and I've got an option of whether to kick right from here, circle this elbow around in front of me, here, to a pin, or instead of doing it right here and kicking high with this left leg, by kicking high with this left leg, I put all the weight on his left leg. As I circle him and pull him, all the weight's going to go towards his back. The other option is stepping past him. Here, I can pull him this way, or I can drop my hips and step right into him like we did before. Here, drop him. Once we drop into this position, again, our right leg is what's going to carry. So anytime we're in these kind of situations, we have all these options that tie in together. Here, we can come with the lace. If I feel like that he's going down, I can come in here, push his head down, drive him over. The foot sweep. But when a guy shoots in and I can see it coming, anytime that man telegraphs, he is giving me a bit of an advantage. Because if I could see him coming in towards me, I can snap him down. Anytime I snap a man down, I want to keep all my weight on him. Here I have what I call double overs, double overhooks. So what I want to do is I want to lock around his chest, drive my chest into him by jamming him, and by doing this I'm pulling his elbows forward. Now, I want to sit. Which side depends on this guy. Because what I want to do is I want to catch his head right in my diaphragm. By catching it in here and sitting to one side, I am going to be able to pop him over to one side or another. So I'm here, I sit, pop. When I pop, I let go, and then I come up. So right here, this is tight on the shoulder. Is it tight? Yeah. Anticipate him coming. As he comes, I slap down, grab the elbows, I drive into him, trying to get these elbows forward. I want to sit, throw him. I come through a headlock or an arm lock, right here. But I do not want to keep that double overs. When I go to throw him over, I must release with my hand that is higher. So if I am here, this on fire, I want to release it so we can keep going through it and I can finish. Here, he's done. So I take him this way, I'm going to pop my hips, pop him over, I can come over for a headlock, or right here. So I sit here, there is a lot of pressure because my chest is on this elbow. There's a lot of pressure here, and when I go to lift up, there's not much this man can do. Very uncomfortable position. Not only can I hit it, catching him as he's shooting in, all I have to do is pop his head down and catch it right here. He's standing in position. He tries to pick his head up. Anything he tries to do, I can throw him. The hips are going to pop. As we pop these hips, we're going to pop him over. Kept here, he's up on his feet. I can control him just by putting my hips in, right here. All the pressure is against his neck. So he wants to come off the ground. Right here. All I'm going to do is lift off. Another common one is anytime a guy grabs my leg, all I want to do is push his head to the side and drag. Into a toe. Grab my leg. What I want to do is pick up on the head and push it to the side. As I push it with my right hand up to the side, I am hitting a drive with my left hand. As I drag, I could try and jump behind, or I could just try and grab right here, behind his knee. By doing this, sitting, take him straight over to his back. There's a lot of pressure on him. Is there a lot of pressure? Yes. Between his, as I sit here, and all my weight. My elbow is in his chest. And like that. My chest is on his elbow. By putting all my weight on his elbow, I'm putting a lot of pressure on his shoulder, right here. Sometimes I can put my arm in between. Right here or here. I put my right arm in between it and I sit. It's going to end up in the same position. When I go to fall with that, I've got this drag on here. I come here and kicking my leg out at like a 30-degree angle. Not 45, not 90, 30. Come in here. Come here, as I kick out. The reason I am kicking out is to get my weight to go out and then down. That way this man cannot stop the momentum. So instead of taking the man to the back, we also have that basic easy option. Just pushing it to the side and coming behind. thing about single leg counters is you take whatever this man is giving you. If he has a single leg and his head is down, you use that to your advantage. His head's down, I want to take what he's giving me. I do not want to force any single one of these moves. But if he opens up to the position where he's going to grab my leg and pick it up, and he's going to be in a very decent position, and grab his wrist right here. Throw him over me. If he drops down low, he feels this coming, he drops down low, I take one of those other options I went into. The thing about wrestling is you never want to force anything. You take what the man gives you. If he's down, there's a lot of things to do when he's down. If he's up, out to the side, or the other side, wherever this man is positioned, he is giving you one move or another. The next series we're going to go over is the crab ride series. Crab ride series is hit immediately off the referee's position. As soon as we blow the whistle, we're going to pull this man into our lap. The double underhook, both our legs are going to be inside his legs. Our options are going for a 2-on-1 and 2. Or we can go for the half series. With a 2-on-1, we should be able to turn this man for 2 or 3 points every time we get a 2-on-1. So if I'm in here, he's got pretty much 4 different ways to go. He can drive that way, he can drive that way, he drives straight back into me, or he can scoot his hips out. If he tries to drive me this way, all I'm going to do is throw him right over to his back. If he wants to jump that way, he jumps, and I stack him. Anytime this man wants to go to the left side, sometimes I'll help him with my right leg and catch right here, straighten my right arm out, pulling his right arm into me with my left arm, driving off my left toe. Stack him. We're going here. I'm going to use my right foot to kick over. As it goes kick over, I step over, grab with my right over my left toe, pulling on my head, straightening my right arm out, and pulling my left arm into me. By doing this, I'm pretty much stacking there. Here, I put here to a grab right situation, bring him over, here, right. Now, I do not have to catch his leg if I do not want. I can whip him over and just use his momentum to stack him up here. Driving up this left leg, posting on my head, using my hips, driving to his hips to hold him up in the stacked position. So if he tries to go this way, we can lace his leg and extend, or just take him straight over. Here. Pull him in, take him up. Post him on that head, using my head. Just use a 2-on-1 on him right here. All I'm going to do is right now my chest is against his back. What I want to do is form a T. I want to get my chest away from his back. If I hold my chest to his back so he can't get away, I also cannot elevate. I can't see it on elevating. So what I want to do is get my chest away, elevate here, track this leg from your leg, so he cannot use it to kick. Right here, I'm going to do both. And there, if I let him 2-on-1, I pull the 2-on-1 towards me, I release with this left hand and extend it straight out. My shoelaces are catching underneath his forearm, and my right elbow is holding his right knee down. By holding his right leg down, I stop him from kicking and creating any momentum and get him out of the position. That's it. He can't do it. But if I'm right like this, he needs to use that right leg to get momentum going. It's going to make it a lot harder for me to hold him. Like that. So what I'm going to make sure that when I get here, I want to track this elbow. So track with my elbow, his knee. So from a crab position, 2 on 1, what I'm going to do is elevate. Now, I am on my back. I'm not on my back. If my shoelaces are underneath his ankle or his calf, he should be able to turn his knee down and get out of this position for points. Like right there. And I can lift here if I ever want. I'm not get underneath his knee. By getting behind his knee, I can control him. Like a fulcrum. Right here, somebody can pick me up. If they pick here, turn my knee down. Anybody picks this up, this is not necessarily I'm going to go towards my back. But if they pick this up, it does. In a crab-leg situation, if I get the half and he wants to jump to the opposite side, he's just going to put himself on his back. If he got us towards this side, right here, I kept his arm. My right hip is tracking him, his right arm. My left elbow is pulling into his back and his step. From here, if he wants to jam to the right, he jams to the right, he goes like that. If I want, I could catch his leg as he goes over, as he jams to the right. So whether I land here or here does not matter. If I do not have the half in, I've got a 2 on 1. If he wants to go to the right, fine by me. It's 2 of you points. Right here. Again, I must get underneath his knee with my shoelaces, and I've got the 2 on 1. My left elbow is very important. Holding this leg down. The third option for this guy is to go straight back when I get into a crab-leg situation. If this man goes to jump straight over me, he's going to put himself right on his back. He jumps into me. That's that. Into a crab-leg situation, I got a half. He jams into me, I elevate, I kick him my feet up, and trapping his one leg as I go over. I am trapping his right leg with my left leg as we go over. As soon as he jams into me, I'm going to use both my legs, elevate him up, and come over. All the half situations end up in the stack position. The 2 on 1 will just end up in tilts. I can tilt from this way, I can tilt from that way. With the half, I can take them any of these 4 ways. 1, also 1, this one. I can take them to the right. That way, or this way. I can take them straight over. Right here. As soon as I land, I look up. And then I'm going to reach out here. You take your kick. So you kick, I don't want to go back. I want to make sure when I get here, I'm going to arch up. any way this man goes to turn, he is putting himself in jeopardy. So, once we hit this on him a bunch of times, he knows that he cannot go one of these three directions. Back to the left, back to the right, or straight back. So his next option would be to scoot his hips out. As he scoots his hips out, we can take him any way we want. He sits out, I could turn my hip into the move, don't show him up. And all I am doing in this situation is I'm scooting my hip so my right thigh is along the mat, my left arm is coming underneath his armpit, my right arm is going to come next to his neck, left leg comes over. Right here, I'm sure you've seen this move before in the half plate. Move it on to another. Right here, we stick our chest out and we squeeze. As we squeeze, we're squeezing like this. When we squeeze, we're squeezing so this part of the arm, the sharp bone, the knife, we cut into his throat and squeeze. Our chest is acting on one side of him, our bone on the other, making it hard for him. So here, he goes to slide out, and take him this side. Back up, scoot my hip, come here. The important part is my leg. This leg is underneath the small of his back. It is not straight. If it's straight, he could turn into me right here. I do not want that to happen. So anytime I get this guy in a crab ride situation, and he wants to scoot down, all I'm doing is getting a simple underhook. So he scoots, as he scoots down, I turn to the side and step over. Get the man right here. Here, the guy scoots out on me, I keep an underhook, I turn to the side, right into the middle, we don't kill him. Right up the whistle. First thing we're going to do is pop him into our lap. To pop him into our lap, all we have to do is create motion one way or another. Left or right. If I pull him right, I want to keep him nice and tight to my hips. Now I wait for his reaction. Whatever he wants to do is how I am going to react. So he wants to come up. If I can get a half in, then we're going to push the half over with our left hand. This is our power hand. This comes in nice and tight, grab it tight back on the neck, and grab nice and low on the neck. When we feed this half underneath, we're feeding it nice and tight underneath the armpit. When we grab the wrist, we're in control. So if he's here, if I'm here, and he goes to sit out, if he goes to scoot his hips out, that's fine. Put himself in that same position. I just release the half. From here, I help him go to the back. I release the half and go into the move, you don't throw him out. The important part of making this guy stay where we want him to be is using our release to hug his hips. If he goes to turn away from me, he can't do it because I'm controlling his hips. If he goes to turn into me, the same thing. My knee is blocking his hips. If he gets a high enough bridge with this left leg, we stick it out. And every time this girl acts, is going to stick it out. So we've got to make sure, when we run out, our left leg is not to stay underneath the smallest back. We want to get back up, right here. We scoot our hips to the side, pull them back at the underhook. Right into the move, we don't say no. My four options with this crab ride series, once I pull him into the crab ride, I want to make sure I hug him nice and tight. But once I push his head to the side and get a half in with this crab ride series, there's four ways of taking him, to the left, to the right, straight back, and down. So this man is pretty much turning no matter where he wants to go. If he jams me to the right to get out, he's putting himself right on his back. My elbow is pulling into his lower back. If I want to catch it as I go over, as he jumps to the right, I put the right. He wants to go to the left, as he goes to the left. I do not want to do this. this is a no-no. If I try to catch it, catch his leg as we're going over to the left, with the crab on the right, he can kick this off right here by kicking his leg. What I want to do is make sure I throw him by me without catching a leg. If he goes away from the hat. If he turns into the hat, I can catch his leg. If he turns away from the hat, I may not. We'll go to the left. Right here, I use this right knee to help him up here and snatch him. If he wants to kick straight over, and then right here. And the first direction he may try to go is down. Now right here, a lot of times you lose the 2-on-1 or the half with the crab rider. So if he starts to scoot out, the two things you want to try and make sure is that you keep your chest hugged to his back by getting double underhook or inside both his thighs. Right here. You want to stay tight. You don't want it loose. Right here. So now, whichever way he wants to lean is which way I put him to his back. He wants to go that way, I let him go that way. He wants to go the other way, I scoot my hips. But the biggest part of this is scooting your hips to the side and pulling him over a leg and trapping here. If I have my left leg here, I've seen a lot of people do this before, they catch the left leg here and the guy's trying to turn out, and the guy's trying on with the point. He can't. He's got to get over this one to pull it back. And by keeping this left leg in, I am holding him off his back. By letting it release and letting him settle down, that's how I can get my point. The crab leg series can be very, very effective in collegiate wrestling. Because everything that guy goes to do off the whistle, you can end up in a crab leg. If he goes to stand up on me, right away. So I'll make 2 crab legs. If he goes to sit out on him, as soon as he sits up, let me do a crab leg. Or a half. And a half. If he goes to anytime he tries a grandiose or any kind of a roll, everything he does, we just follow him with his nice tight hips. Goes to go wait until the crab leg. And a half. The thing is, right off the whistle, as soon as I blow, we're going to shoot right into double underhooks. Here. Underhooks or the crab leg inside his legs. This way, he cannot counter anything we're doing. Now, if he has got the crab ride on me, what kind of counters can he hit? Well, sometimes we want to grab right inside. So what we want to do is we want to get our legs out of the way. So sometimes we'll have to come underneath here. And we're going to take our hips and scoot them along the mat. When we get into this position, we want to make sure he does not step this leg over. So what we do is put the right arm up the head. Or we grab both his hands, step on one of his feet. Step on it with our right foot, our left foot. Take our right hand, block his knee. As he steps over, we grab his hand and end up like a Peterson roll finish. The big thing is scooting down. So I want to step on these feet, whether I want to pick them up by the inseam of his foot, right here, and picking them up, grabbing his head, rolling, and grabbing his head here, and catching underneath his leg. guy is a very hard move to get out of, especially if the guy knows what he's doing. So now scoot our hips down and be able to block any leg coming in over. So anytime you get out of this, so his leg's on the inside, most people try and put a leg over. So anytime he puts a leg over, what we want to do is we want to stop it. So I feel that leg coming over, that leg coming over, and then I block it. So then you're stopping them legs from getting in. And anytime you get in a crab ride situation, keep your hips low and scoot and see what you've got. Stepping on feet and picking the legs up, getting in the knees. So we can roll it up.
This program has been produced and is distributed by American Sports Video Incorporated. Any unauthorized reproduction of this program is a violation of federal law. American Sports Video, the leader in video sports instruction programs, P.O. Box 465, Cayuga, New York, 13034.